First contact, the discovery. The red dust of Mars swirled around Dr. Samantha Chen's boots as she made her way across the desolate landscape. The thin atmosphere whistled through her suit's external sensors, a constant reminder of the hostile environment surrounding her. But Dr. Chen's attention was focused solely on the readings flickering across her helmet's heads-up display. "Command, are you seeing this?" she asked, her voice tight with excitement. "The energy signatures are off the charts." "Affirmative, Dr. Chen," came the reply from the Mars-based control room. "We're tracking it. Whatever you found, it's unlike anything we've encountered before." Samantha allowed herself a small smile. After months of painstaking research and exploration, they had finally found something truly extraordinary. The unusual energy readings had led her team to this location, a nondescript area of the Martian surface that looked no different from the countless miles of barren rocks surrounding it. But appearances could be deceiving. As Samantha approached the epicenter of the energy readings, the ground beneath her feet began to tremble. She froze, her heart pounding in her chest as she watched in awe as the Martian soil seemed to come alive. Dust and rocks shifted, revealing glimpses of something metallic underneath. "Command, are you seeing this?" she gasped, her scientific training momentarily forgotten in the face of the incredible sight before her. "Affirmative, Dr. Chen. All cameras are recording. Whatever that thing is, it's big." The trembling intensified, and Samantha stumbled backward as a massive structure began to rise from the ground. It was unlike anything humans had ever constructed, a towering obelisk of gleaming, iridescent metal that seemed to shimmer and shift in the pale Martian sunlight. As the dust settled, Samantha found herself standing before an alien artifact that dwarfed her in size and complexity. Its surface was covered in intricate patterns and symbols that pulsed with an inner light, mesmerizing in their beauty and utterly incomprehensible. It's incredible," she whispered, reaching out a gloved hand towards the structure. Just before her fingers made contact, a bolt of energy oozed from the obelisk to her suit, causing her to yelp in surprise. "Dr. Chen, are you all right?" The concern in the controller's voice was evident. Samantha checked her suit's diagnostics. "I'm fine. The energy surge doesn't seem to have caused any damage. But this changes everything. We're not alone in the universe. We never were." The news of the discovery spread like wildfire across Earth. Within days, the United Nations Security Council had convened an emergency session to discuss the implications of the find. Dr. Chen found herself thrust into the spotlight, testifying before world leaders and top scientists about the nature of the artifact. "Based on our preliminary analysis," she explained, her voice steady despite the gravity of her words, "the obelisk appears to be a beacon of some kind. It's transmitting a signal into deep space, but we haven't been able to decipher its meaning yet." The room erupted into murmurs of excitement and concern. A stern-faced general leaned forward, his brow furrowed. "Dr. Chen, in your professional opinion, does this artifact pose a threat to Earth's security?" Samantha took a deep breath before answering. "Sir, the honest answer is that we don't know. This technology is so far beyond our current understanding that it's impossible to determine its purpose or potential dangers. What I can say is that it represents an opportunity, a chance to learn and grow beyond our wildest dreams." As the debate raged on Earth, a team of the world's brightest minds was assembled and sent to Mars. Their mission, to unlock the secrets of the alien obelisk and determine its purpose. Among them was Dr. Marcus Reeves, a brilliant but eccentric xenolinguist who had dedicated his life to the study of theoretical alien languages. "It's not just a language," Marcus muttered, his eyes darting across the holographic displays surrounding him in the makeshift research lab. "It's a key, a map. We've been looking at it all wrong." Samantha looked up from her own work, intrigued. "What do you mean, Marcus?" The disheveled scientist spun in his chair, his eyes alight with revelation. "The patterns, Sam, they're not just symbols. They're star charts, navigational data, This isn't just a beacon, it's an invitation. As the implications of Marcus's discovery sank in, the team worked feverishly to decode the alien star charts. Days turned into weeks, but finally they had their answer. The obelisk wasn't just transmitting a signal, it was providing coordinates to a specific star system, over 50 light-years from Earth. The revelation sent shockwaves through the scientific community and the corridors of power on Earth. Humanity stood at a crossroads, faced with a decision that would alter the course of history. Do they accept the invitation and venture into the unknown, or remain safely within the confines of their solar system? Admiral Helena Vasquez, the newly appointed head of the United Earth Space Initiative, addressed the UN General Assembly. Her voice rang out, clear and determined. Ladies and gentlemen, we stand on the brink of a new era. For centuries, we have looked to the stars and wondered if we were alone. Now we have our answer. The choice before us is clear. Do we cower in fear of the unknown, or do we embrace our destiny as explorers? The assembly hall erupted in applause as Admiral Vasquez continued. I propose that we embark on the greatest journey in human history. Let us build a ship capable of crossing the vast distances between stars. Let us assemble a crew of our finest minds and bravest souls. And let us answer this cosmic invitation with courage and curiosity. The following months saw a flurry of activity unlike anything the world had ever seen. Nations set aside their differences, pooling resources and expertise to create humanity's first true starship. The HSS Odyssey took shape in orbit, a marvel of engineering and human determination. As the day of launch approached, Dr. Samantha Chen found herself standing before the massive viewport in the Odyssey's observation deck. The blue marble of Earth hung below, etchingly beautiful. She felt a presence beside her and turned to see Marcus Reeves, his usual nervous energy replaced by a sense of quiet awe. "Are we really ready for this, Sam?" he asked softly. Samantha considered the question for a moment before responding. "I don't know if we're ready, Marcus, but I do know that we have to try. Whatever's waiting for us out there, whatever left that obelisk on Mars, they've given us a chance to reach for the stars. We owe it to ourselves and to all of humanity to see where this journey takes us." As the final preparations for launch were made, a sense of anticipation and nervous excitement permeated the ship. The crew, a diverse group of scientists, engineers, and explorers from every corner of the globe, took their positions. Admiral Vasquez's voice came over the intercom, steady and resolute. "Men and women of the Odyssey, today we make history. Today, we take humanity's first steps into the cosmic ocean. Whatever challenges we face, whatever wonders we discover, know that the hopes and dreams of our entire species go with you. Godspeed and safe travels." With a rumble that shook the very foundations of human achievement, the HSS Odyssey's engines roared to life. As the ship broke free from Earth's gravity, and set course for the distant stars, Samantha Chen looked out at the vast expanse of space before them. A mixture of fear and exhilaration coursed through her veins. The journey into the unknown had begun. Humanity's greatest adventure was about to unfold, with challenges and discoveries beyond their wildest imagination waiting in the cosmic depths. As the Earth receded behind them, growing smaller with each passing moment, the crew of the Odyssey steeled themselves for whatever lay ahead. The stars beckoned, and humanity had answered the call. The journey begins. The vast emptiness of interstellar space stretched out before the HSS Odyssey, a canvas of infinite black punctuated by the distant twinkle of stars. Inside the ship, the initial excitement of launch had given way to the steady rhythm of life aboard humanity's first interstellar vessel. Dr. Samantha Chen sat at her workstation in the science lab, poring over the latest data from the ship's long-range sensors. The Odyssey had been traveling for 6 months, and although they were making good time, their destination still lay years away. "Anything interesting, Sam?" asked Marcus Reeves, floating over to her station with the ease of someone who had adapted well to zero gravity. Samantha shook her head, a hint of frustration in her voice. "Nothing out of the ordinary, just more empty space." Marcus grinned, his enthusiasm undimmed by the monotony of their journey. Cheer up. We're literally going where no human has gone before. Every second out here is a new record for our species. Before Samantha could respond, an alarm blared through the ship. Red warning lights flashed, and the calm voice of the ship's AI filled the air. Attention all crew. Unidentified object detected on long-range sensors. All hands to stations. This is not a drill. Samantha and Marcus exchanged a look of excitement tinged with apprehension. This was the moment they had been waiting for and dreading. On the bridge, Admiral Helena Vasquez strapped herself into the command chair, her eyes fixed on the main view screen. "Report," she barked. Lieutenant Zara Okoro, the ship's tactical officer, responded quickly. "Object detected at extreme sensor range, Admiral. It's big, really big, and it's changing course to intercept us." Vasquez's eyes narrowed. "Time to intercept. At current speeds, approximately 18 hours, sir." The Admiral nodded, her mind racing through possible scenarios. "All right, people. This is what we've trained for. Let's show whatever's out there the best of what humanity has to offer. Lieutenant Okoro, continue monitoring the object. Dr. Chen, I want you and your team analyzing every scrap of data we can gather. And someone get me a damn cup of coffee. It's going to be a long day." As the hours ticked by, tension aboard the Odyssey ratcheted up. The unknown object grew larger on their sensors, defying easy categorization. It was massive, easily dwarfing the Odyssey, with a shape that seemed to shift and change as they watched. In the science lab, Samantha and her team worked feverishly to make sense of the readings. "It's like nothing we've ever seen," she muttered, rubbing her tired eyes. "The energy readings are off the charts, and the composition, it's not made of any materials we recognize." Marcus leaned in, his eyes wide with wonder. What if it's alive? Some kind of space-dwelling organism? Before Samantha could dismiss the idea, new data flashed across her screen. Her jaw dropped. "Marcus, I think you might be right. We're detecting complex energy patterns consistent with neural activity. Whatever this thing is, it's thinking." The revelation sent shockwaves through the crew. Humanity's first encounter with alien life wasn't going to be with little green men or even microbes on a distant planet. Instead, they faced an entity so vast and alien that it defied comprehension. As the object drew nearer, its true nature became apparent. It was a living ship, a massive, whale-like creature that swam through the void of space as easily as its aquatic counterparts moved through Earth's oceans. Its skin shimmered with bioluminescent patterns that pulsed and shifted, creating a mesmerizing display. Admiral Vasquez stood before the view screen, her face a mask of awe and determination. "Open a channel," she ordered. "All frequencies, all languages we know. Let's try to talk to this thing." For hours, the Odyssey broadcast messages of peace and friendship, using every form of communication they could think of: radio waves, light pulses, even mathematical sequences. The space whale, as the crew had begun to call it, continued its approach, showing no sign of hostility, but also no clear response to their hails. Just as it seemed the creature would pass by them, leaving the encounter as mysterious as it began, something extraordinary happened. The space whale emitted a burst of energy that washed over the Odyssey, penetrating its hull and flooding every deck with a soft, blue light. Samantha gasped as her mind was suddenly filled with alien thoughts and images. She wasn't alone. All around her, crew members stumbled, clutching their heads as they experienced the same phenomenon. It lasted only moments, but when it passed, everyone aboard the Odyssey knew they had just experienced something profound. It was trying to communicate, Samantha said, her voice filled with wonder. I felt, its journey, its purpose. Admiral, I think it recognized us as kindred spirits, explorers like itself." Admiral Vasquez nodded slowly, still processing the incredible experience. Did anyone else get the sense that it was guiding us, showing us something important? Heads nodded around the bridge. Marcus spoke up, his voice trembling with excitement. "The coordinates in our navigation system have changed, Admiral. I think our new friend just gave us a shortcut." As the space whale receded into the distance, its bioluminescent patterns flaring one last time in what seemed like a farewell, the crew of the Odyssey was left to contemplate the implications of their encounter. They had set out to find signs of alien life, but instead, alien life had found them and apparently decided they were worthy of assistance. With a mixture of trepidation and excitement, Admiral Vasquez gave the order to follow the new course. The Odyssey's engines hummed to life, propelling the ship towards a region of space that shimmered with unusual energy readings. "Status report," Vasquez demanded as they approached the coordinates provided by the space whale. Lieutenant Okoro's fingers danced across her console. "Sensors are having trouble penetrating the energy field, Admiral, but I'm detecting a tunnel of some kind. It looks like a shortcut through space itself." Samantha's eyes widened as she studied the readings. "It's a wormhole," she breathed. "A stable wormhole. The math checks out. If we enter, we could cut years off our journey." Admiral Vasquez considered their options. The wormhole represented an incredible opportunity, but also an unknown risk. After a moment of contemplation, she made her decision. "Take us in, Helm. Nice and easy." As the Odyssey approached the mouth of the wormhole, the crew held their breath. The ship shuddered as it crossed the event horizon, plunging into a swirling vortex of light and energy. For several heart-stopping minutes, the ship was buffeted by forces beyond human understanding. Then, as suddenly as it began, the turbulence ceased. The Odyssey emerged into normal space, its crew shaken but unharmed. As the viewscreen cleared, gasps of astonishment filled the bridge. Before them lay a star system unlike any they had ever seen. Multiple suns of varying colors orbited a central point, their light reflecting off rings of debris and swirling gas clouds. And there, nestled within this cosmic dance, was a planet that glowed with the unmistakable signs of advanced civilization. Admiral Vasquez leaned forward in her chair, her voice barely above a whisper. "My God, we made it." As the Odyssey moved deeper into the system, the true scale of what they had discovered began to sink in. The planet wasn't just inhabited, it was a bustling hub of activity. Massive structures orbited the world, and the space around it was filled with ships of various sizes and designs. Samantha's console lit up with incoming data. "Admiral, we're picking up transmissions. Thousands of them. Different frequencies, different types. It's a cacophony of communication." Before anyone could respond, a new signal cut through the chatter, a clear, directed transmission aimed squarely at the Odyssey. As the ship's computers worked to decode the message, tension on the bridge reached a fever pitch. Finally, the ship's speakers crackled to life, and a voice unlike any they had heard before filled the air. It spoke in a language that was utterly alien, yet somehow, through some miracle of technology or biology, the crew found they could understand. "Greetings, travelers," the voice said, its tone a mixture of curiosity and caution. "You have entered the domain of the Galactic Concordat. Identify yourselves and state your purpose." Admiral Vasquez took a deep breath, straightening her uniform before stepping forward. This was the moment that would define humanity's place in the cosmos. With a steady voice, she began to speak. "I am Admiral Helena Vasquez of the human species ship Odyssey. We come from a planet called Earth in pursuit of knowledge and friendship. We are explorers, seekers of truth, and we humbly request permission to approach and establish peaceful contact." There was a pause that seemed to stretch for eternity. Then the alien voice returned, a note of surprise evident in its tone. "Humans, from Earth? Your arrival is unexpected. We had not anticipated your kind achieving interstellar travel for at least another century. It seems we have much to discuss. Prepare to be escorted to the Concordat's receiving station. Welcome to the galactic community, humans. May your stay be enlightening." As the transmission ended, the crew of the Odyssey exchanged looks of amazement and trepidation. They had achieved their goal, first contact with an advanced alien civilization, but it was clear that their journey, far from being over, was only just beginning. The true test of humanity's place among the stars lay ahead, and the crew of the Odyssey would need all their ingenuity, courage, and compassion to navigate the complex web of galactic politics and alien cultures that awaited them. As sleek, otherworldly ships approached to escort them, Admiral Vasquez turned to her crew, a fierce determination in her eyes. "Well, ladies and gentlemen," she said, a hint of a smile on her lips, "let's show the galaxy what humanity is made of." Before them lay a star system unlike any they had ever seen. Multiple suns of varying colors orbited a central point, their light reflecting off rings of debris and swirling gas clouds. And there, nestled within this cosmic dance, was a planet that glowed with the unmistakable signs of advanced civilization. Admiral Vasquez leaned forward in her chair, her voice barely above a whisper. "My God, we made it." As the Odyssey moved deeper into the system, the true scale of what they had discovered began to sink in. The planet wasn't just inhabited, it was a bustling hub of activity. Massive structures orbited the world, and the space around it was filled with ships of various sizes and designs. Samantha's console lit up with incoming data. "Admiral, we're picking up transmissions, thousands of them, different frequencies, different types. It's a cacophony of communication." Before anyone could respond, a new signal cut through the chatter, a clear, directed transmission aimed squarely at the Odyssey. As the ship's computers worked to decode the message, tension on the bridge reached a fever pitch. Finally, the ship's speakers crackled to life, and a voice unlike any they had heard before filled the air. It spoke in a language that was utterly alien, yet somehow, through some miracle of technology or biology, the crew found they could understand. "Greetings, travelers," the voice said, its tone a mixture of curiosity and caution. "You have entered the domain of the Galactic Concordat. Identify yourselves and state your purpose." Admiral Vasquez took a deep breath, straightening her uniform before stepping forward. This was the moment that would define humanity's place in the cosmos. With a steady voice, she began to speak. "I am Admiral Helena Vasquez of the human species ship Odyssey. We come from a planet called Earth, in pursuit of knowledge and friendship. We are explorers, seekers of truth, and we humbly request permission to approach and establish peaceful contact." There was a pause that seemed to stretch for eternity. Then the alien voice returned, a note of surprise evident in its tone. "Humans, from Earth, your arrival is unexpected. We had not anticipated your kind achieving interstellar travel for at least another century. It seems we have much to discuss. Prepare to be escorted to the Concordat's receiving station. Welcome to the galactic community, humans. May your stay be enlightening." As the transmission ended, the crew of the Odyssey exchanged looks of amazement and trepidation. They had achieved their goal, first contact with an advanced alien civilization, but it was clear that their journey, far from being over, was only just beginning. The true test of humanity's place among the stars lay ahead, and the crew of the Odyssey would need all their ingenuity, courage, and compassion to navigate the complex web of galactic politics and alien cultures that awaited them. As sleek, otherworldly ships approached to escort them, Admiral Vasquez turned to her crew, a fierce determination in her eyes. "Well, ladies and gentlemen," she said, a hint of a smile on her lips, "let's show the galaxy what humanity is made of." Alien encounter. The HSS Odyssey glided through space, flanked by the sleek escort ships of the Galactic Concordat. As they approached the massive receiving station, the crew of Earth's first interstellar vessel marveled at the sheer scale and complexity of alien engineering on display. Admiral Helena Vasquez stood at the front of the bridge, her posture rigid with a mixture of anticipation and nervousness. "Dr. Chen, Mr. Reeves, you're with me for the initial contact. The rest of you, maintain ship readiness. We don't know what to expect, so stay alert." As the Odyssey docked with the station, Samantha felt her heart racing. Years of training and speculation were about to be put to the test. The airlock cycled, and with a hiss of equalizing pressure, the door slid open to reveal their alien hosts. The beings that greeted them were unlike anything they had imagined. Tall, willowy creatures with iridescent skin that seemed to shift colors with their movements. Their eyes were large and multifaceted, reflecting the light in mesmerizing patterns. Most striking of all were the delicate, translucent wings folded against their backs. One of the aliens stepped forward, its movements fluid and graceful. When it spoke, the words seemed to form directly in the humans' minds, bypassing their ears entirely. "I am Zarquin, first speaker of the Galactic Concordat. On behalf of the 100 sentient species that make up our alliance, I bid you welcome, humans of Earth." Admiral Vasquez stepped forward, bowing slightly. "Thank you for your hospitality, first speaker Zarquin. We are honored to make your acquaintance and grateful for this opportunity to learn about your people and the wider galactic community." Vasquez looked at her team, then out at the stars visible through the chamber's massive viewport. Somewhere out there, an unimaginable threat was brewing. But here, in this room, she had witnessed the birth of something equally powerful: unity, hope, and unwavering determination. "Whatever comes next," the Admiral said softly, "we face it together. For Earth, for the Concordat, for every sentient being in this galaxy, we'll find a way. We always do." As the HSS Odyssey prepared for its journey back to Earth, to deliver the monumental news and to begin rallying humanity for the greatest challenge in its history, the crew knew that this was not an end, but a beginning. They had come seeking new frontiers, and they had found them. Not just in the vast expanse of space, but in the depths of their own potential, in the strength found in unity, and in the unyielding human spirit that had carried them across the stars. The galaxy was changing, a storm was coming, but humanity was ready to weather it, to fight, to innovate, and to prove once and for all that their place among the stars was not just earned, but essential. As the Odyssey's engines flared to life, carrying hope and a call to action back to Earth, one thing was certain: the greatest chapter in human history was about to unfold, written in the stars themselves. As the debates and evaluations dragged on, tensions began to rise among the Odyssey's crew. Some felt that the aliens were being unnecessarily hostile and dismissive. Others worried that humanity was simply out of its depth. During a rare moment of privacy, Samantha confronted Admiral Vasquez. "They're not going to accept us, are they? No matter what we do or say, they've already decided we're not worthy." Vasquez sighed, the weight of responsibility heavy on her shoulders. "Maybe, but we can't give up. We've come too far, achieved too much to back down now. We need to show them what humans are truly capable of." Just as it seemed the negotiations were at an impasse, an alarm blared through the station. Zarquin rushed into the room where the human delegation was gathered, its skin pulsing with urgent reds and oranges. "We have a situation," the alien announced, its mental voice tinged with panic. "A ship carrying delegates from the outer systems has suffered a catastrophic failure. They're trapped in a decaying orbit around a neutron star. Our rescue ships can't get close enough without being torn apart by the gravitational forces." Admiral Vasquez straightened, her eyes gleaming with determination. "First speaker, allow us to assist. The Odyssey may not be as advanced as your ships, but it's sturdy and maneuverable. We've trained for high-gravity scenarios." Zarquin's multifaceted eyes studied the Admiral intently. "You would risk your lives and your only ship to save aliens you've never met." Without hesitation, Vasquez replied firmly, "This is who we are. This is what humanity stands for." After a moment of tense silence, Zarquin nodded. "Very well, Admiral. Show us what humans can do." What followed was a daring rescue operation that pushed the Odyssey and its crew to their limits. As they approached the neutron star, the ship groaned under the immense gravitational stress. Samantha and her team worked feverishly to reinforce the structural integrity field, while Marcus used his linguistic skills to establish communication with the stranded aliens. With masterful piloting and split-second timing, the Odyssey managed to extend its force field around the damaged alien vessel. As they began the delicate process of towing the ship to safety, the neutron star's intense radiation began to play havoc with their systems. "We're losing power," Lieutenant Okoro shouted from her station. "The radiation is overloading our buffers." Admiral Vasquez gripped her chair, her voice steady despite the chaos around her. "Reroute all non-essential power to the shields and tractor beam. We're not leaving anyone behind." For several harrowing minutes, it seemed as though both ships would be torn apart by the neutron star's unforgiving grip. But through a combination of human ingenuity, determination, and perhaps a touch of luck, they managed to break free, towing the alien vessel to safety. As the Odyssey limped back to the Concordat station, cheers erupted throughout the ship. They had done it. They had proven their worth in the most dramatic way possible. When they docked, they were met not with skepticism and suspicion, but with awe and gratitude. Zarquin approached Admiral Vasquez, its skin shimmering with vibrant hues of gold and silver. "Admiral," the alien began, its mental voice filled with warmth, "we owe you and your crew a great debt. Your actions today have demonstrated a level of courage, selflessness, and ingenuity that we did not expect. Perhaps we were too hasty in our judgment of humanity." Vasquez smiled, exhausted but proud. "Thank you, First Speaker. We're just glad we could help. This is what we mean when we say we want to contribute positively to the galactic community." Zarquin's wings fluttered in what seemed to be a gesture of respect. "Indeed, it seems we have much to learn from each other." "Admiral Vasquez, Dr. Chen, Mr. Reeves, on behalf of the Galactic Concordat, I formally invite humanity to join our alliance as probationary members." The news spread quickly through the Odyssey, met with jubilation and a sense of profound accomplishment. They had done it. They had secured humanity's place among the stars. As the crew celebrated, Samantha found herself gazing out at the alien station and the star field beyond. They had overcome their first major hurdle, but she knew that the real challenge was just beginning. How would Earth react to the news? How would humanity adapt to its new role on the galactic stage? Whatever lay ahead, one thing was certain: humanity had proven itself worthy of the stars. The greatest adventure in human history was only just beginning. The Admiral's voice rang out, filled with pride and hope for the future. "Well done, all of you. We came here to explore, to learn, and to grow. But in doing so, we've also taught, innovated, and inspired. This is only the beginning of humanity's journey among the stars, and I, for one, can't wait to see what we'll accomplish next." As the Odyssey prepared for its triumphant return to Earth, carrying with it the promise of a new era for humanity, one thing was clear: the galaxy would never be the same again. Humanity had arrived on the cosmic stage, and they were here to stay. The galactic stage. The grand halls of the Galactic Concordat's central chamber buzzed with an energy unlike anything seen in recent memory. Representatives from 100 alien species filled the tiered seating, their attention fixed on the center stage where a historic moment was about to unfold. Admiral Helena Vasquez stood tall, her crisp uniform a stark contrast to the kaleidoscope of alien forms surrounding her. To her left stood Dr. Samantha Chen and Marcus Reeves, their faces a mixture of pride and awe. They were about to witness humanity's formal acceptance into the galactic community. First Speaker Zarquin's voice resonated through the chamber, bypassing verbal language to speak directly to the minds of all present. "Esteemed members of the Concordat, today we gather to welcome a new species into our fellowship. The humans of Earth have proven themselves not just worthy of joining us, but capable of teaching us new ways of thinking, of solving problems we thought unsolvable." The aliens' multifaceted eyes turned to the human delegation. "Admiral Vasquez, Dr. Chen, Mr. Reeves, on behalf of the Galactic Concordat, I am honored to officially extend full membership status to humanity. Your probationary period has been waived in light of your extraordinary contributions. Welcome, friends, to the Galactic stage. A wave of approvals swept through the chamber. Species that had been skeptical of humanity's readiness now pulsed with colors of acceptance and even excitement. The human delegation felt a swell of emotion. They had done it. They had secured humanity's place among the stars. As Admiral Vasquez stepped forward to address the assembly, a commotion at the far end of the chamber caught everyone's attention. A being unlike any the humans had seen before burst through the doors, its form seeming to shift and waver as if it wasn't fully present in this dimension. Forgive the interruption, the being's thoughts boomed, tinged with urgency, but we bring grave news that cannot wait. Zarquin's skin rippled with concern. Speak, emissary of the Void Walkers. What news do you bring? The emissary's form solidified, revealing a being of swirling darkness, studded with pinpricks of light, like a living slice of deep space. The devourers stir in the spaces between galaxies. They hunger once more, and their gaze has turned to this realm. A collective gasp went through the chamber. Even without understanding the full context, the human delegation could feel the wave of fear that swept through the alien representatives. Vasquez stepped forward, her voice steady. First speaker, emissary, I apologize, but we're not familiar with these terms. Who or what are the devourers? Zarquin turned to the humans, its mental voice grave. The devourers are an ancient threat, a force of cosmic destruction that consumes entire galaxies. They hibernate for millions of years between feedings, and we had believed we had more time before their next awakening. The emissary's starry form pulsed. Our seers have glimpsed possible futures. In most, this galaxy falls, consumed by the insatiable hunger of the devourers. But in a few, a precious few, there is hope, and in each of those futures, we see them. Its gaze fell upon the human delegation. Murmurs of disbelief and confusion rippled through the chamber. How could this young, barely spacefaring species be the key to facing such an overwhelming threat? Samantha's scientific curiosity overcame her shock. What exactly are these devourers? Some kind of massive organism? A swarm? The emissary's form shimmered. They are, beyond simple classification, part cosmic phenomenon, part hive mind, part dark energy construct. They exist to consume, to break down the very fabric of space-time and absorb its energy. Our most advanced weapons barely slow them. Marcus, his linguist's mind racing, posed a question. You said your seers saw us in the futures where there's hope. What exactly did they see us doing? Zarquin answered, its skin cycling through troubled hues. It's not clear. The visions are fragmented, symbolic. They consistently show humans, thinking differently, approaching problems in ways we cannot fathom, much as you did during your trials. Admiral Vasquez straightened, her voice filled with determination. Whatever the threat, humanity stands ready to face it alongside our new allies. We may be young, but we are resilient. We've faced extinction-level threats on our own world and survived. We'll bring that same spirit to this fight. The Admiral's words seemed to ripple through the chamber, igniting sparks of hope in the assembled aliens. Zarquin's mental voice carried a note of newfound strength. Perhaps this is why the universe guided your species to us now, at this crucial juncture. Your unique perspectives, your adaptability, your relentless ingenuity. These may be the very qualities needed to face the devourers. As the implications sank in, the mood in the chamber transformed. What had begun as a welcoming ceremony was now evolving into a council of war. Species that had been at odds for centuries now found themselves united in the face of a common, overwhelming threat. Dr. Chen, her mind already racing with possibilities, spoke up. We'll need to pool our knowledge, combine our technologies in ways never before attempted. Humanity's history is full of instances where our greatest leaps forward came in times of extreme crisis. With the combined wisdom of 100 species, who knows what we might achieve? Marcus nodded enthusiastically. Our myth cycles are full of stories about facing overwhelming odds, of small, determined forces overcoming seemingly invincible foes. Maybe there's wisdom in those old tales that we can apply here. The emissary's form pulsed with what might have been approval. Yes, this is a spark we glimpsed. This ability to draw connections where none seem to exist, to find hope in the face of despair, this is what set humanity apart in our visions. Admiral Vasquez turned to address the entire assembly, her voice ringing with conviction. Members of the Galactic Concordat, humanity accepts our place among you not just as a new member, but as partners in the greatest challenge our civilizations have ever faced. We don't know exactly what role we're meant to play, but we pledge to give everything we have to this fight. She paused, her gaze sweeping the chamber. We are stronger together than we ever could be apart. Let this threat be the forge that melds our civilizations into an unbreakable alloy. The Devourers may be ancient, they may be powerful, but they've never faced the combined might and ingenuity of our united species. A roar of approval shook the chamber. Species that had eyed each other with suspicion now clasped appendages in solidarity. The air thrummed with a palpable sense of purpose and unity. As the assembly broke into focused discussion groups, each tasked with a different aspect of the coming challenge, the human delegation found themselves at the center of a whirlwind of activity. Their ideas, no matter how outlandish they might have seemed just days ago, were now being given serious consideration. Samantha found herself deep in conversation with a group of the Concordat's top scientists, discussing radical new approaches to dark energy manipulation. Marcus was surrounded by strategists, exploring how humanity's martial history and mythic narratives might provide unexpected insights into battling the Devourers. And Admiral Vasquez stood with Zarquin and the emissary, poring over star charts and discussing the logistics of preparing an entire galaxy for the fight of its life. As the hours wore on, a plan began to take shape. It was audacious, filled with untested technologies and strategies that bordered on the impossible. But with each passing moment, as species built upon each other's ideas and human ingenuity catalyzed new ways of thinking, the impossible began to seem just a little more achievable. The path ahead would be long and fraught with danger. The Devourers were still coming, their hunger unabated. But for the first time in eons, the galaxy faced the threat not with resignation, but with hope. As the session finally wound down, Admiral Vasquez found a quiet moment with her team. "Well," she said, a wry smile on her face, "I'd say this is a bit more than we bargained for when we set out from Earth." Samantha laughed, the sound tinged with both excitement and nerves. "Just a bit, yes. But isn't this why we came? To explore, to learn, to face the unknown." Marcus nodded, his eyes gleaming. "We wanted to make a difference in the galaxy. I'd say we've got our chance." Zarquin's skin rippled with shades of blue and green, which Samantha guessed might indicate pleasure or approval. "Your journey here is most impressive, Admiral. However, we must admit to some concern about your unexpected arrival." The alien's tone shifted, taking on a more serious note. "You see, we have been observing your species for some time. While we have noted your potential, we had not anticipated your achieving interstellar travel for many years to come. Your presence here raises questions about the accuracy of our assessments and the potential risks of premature contact." Marcus stepped forward, his eyes wide with curiosity. "You've been watching us? For how long? And why didn't you make contact earlier?" Zarquin's skin flickered with patterns of deep purple. "We have monitored Earth for several of your centuries. As for why we did not initiate contact, well, your species has a rather turbulent history. We needed to be certain you would not bring violence and chaos to the galactic stage." Admiral Vasquez frowned, sensing the underlying tension. "First speaker, I assure you that we come in peace. We seek only to learn and to contribute positively to the galactic community." The alien's multifaceted eyes seemed to study them intently. "Your words are admirable, Admiral, but actions speak louder than words, as your own species is fond of saying. We must evaluate your readiness for full participation in galactic affairs." Over the next few days, the crew of the Odyssey found themselves subjected to a series of tests and interviews. The Zarquin and other members of the Concordat probed their knowledge, their technology, and their ethics. While some of the aliens seemed genuinely curious and even impressed by human ingenuity, others were clearly skeptical of their worthiness. During a particularly grueling session with the Concordat's Science Council, Samantha found herself defending human scientific achievements. While it's true that our technology may seem primitive compared to yours, she argued, her voice steady despite her frustration, we've made remarkable progress in a relatively short time. Our adaptability and creativity have allowed us to overcome numerous challenges. One of the alien scientists, a being that looked like a cross between an octopus and a crystal formation, pulsed with dismissive colors. Yet you still rely on fossil fuels for much of your energy needs. Your planet's ecosystem is in crisis. How can you claim to be ready for the responsibilities of galactic citizenship when you cannot even manage your own world? Before Samantha could retort, Marcus chimed in. But that's precisely why we're here. We recognize our shortcomings and we're eager to learn. Isn't that the mark of a species worthy of joining your community? The willingness to acknowledge our flaws and strive to improve. The alien scientists murmured among themselves, their reactions impossible to interpret. Meanwhile, Admiral Vasquez found herself in tense negotiations with the Concordat's Security Council. The aliens were particularly concerned about humanity's history of warfare and the potential for Earth to become a destabilizing force in the galaxy. You must understand our position, Admiral, Zarquin explained, its wings twitching with agitation. The peace we have established is fragile. Introducing a new, unpredictable species into the mix could have dire consequences. Vasquez leaned forward, her voice passionate. First speaker, humanity's history is indeed marked by conflict, but it's also a story of overcoming differences, of reaching out across divides to forge alliances and friendships. We've learned from our mistakes, and we're committed to peace. Zarquin's skin rippled with skepticism. Pretty words, Admiral, but can you prove them? How do we know that once you've gained our knowledge and technology, you won't turn it against us or use it to dominate other, less advanced species? The Admiral's eyes flashed with determination. Give us a chance to prove ourselves. Set challenges for us, tests that will demonstrate not just our capabilities, but our character. We're willing to earn our place among the stars.